Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome back to another on-the-road video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Today, we'll be taking a look at this Samsung electric freestanding range. We will show you how to remove and replace your bake element. To begin this repair, you must first access the back of the unit. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for the proper voltage. The tools needed for this repair is a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a knife, and a voltmeter. Now that we are at the back of the unit, we'll remove the back panel. We'll go around the perimeter, remove all the Phillips screws that hold it on. Now that the screws are removed, to take off the back panel, be very careful because the edges are extremely sharp. You'll have to pull out on the bottom, lift up, and slide it out, then set it aside. Now that our back panel is removed, we have clear access to our hidden bake element. The common symptoms of a bad bake element would be if the unit is not heating at all. It might take a little too long for it to go into bake. Sometimes you use convection bake, maybe it only gets up to 150, 200 degrees. Or after it does preheat, it might completely drop off and never stay at that temperature. All of these are symptoms of a bad bake element. To start, you'll want to unhook your spade terminals from the bottom of the element. Now at this point, I would carefully hook your meter up to these 2 spade terminals, plug your unit back in, and put it on bake. Make sure you have 240 volts being sent down to it when the relay is sending power down to the bake element. If this test's okay, to test your element, set your meter up, put it on ohms. Now a typical element will read anywhere from 10 to 50 ohms. I'm going to put mine on audible tone, so if it does have continuity, you should hear a sound. This will show that it's good. So we'll hook our meter up to the 2 terminals. It is reading okay. It's reading right about 20 ohms. This is right in the range that you'll want to be at. But if it does not have continuity, you could have a bad bake element. To remove your bake element, we will first have to remove the power cord and terminal block assembly. To start, let's take off the screws that are holding on your power cord. Slide your power cord out and set it aside. Next, remove the ground screw. Now you'll have 2 Phillips that are going into the cabinet, holding on your terminal block. Next, we'll bend down this tab, pull up on your terminal block to set it aside, and remove the plate it attaches to. Now lift up on your wiring, set all your wiring aside. Next, you'll have this insulation that goes through here. You will have to cut the insulation. Use a pocket knife or some type of straight edge to gently go across and cut across there. After that's done, there are 2 Phillips screws inside that are holding on the element. Remove these. Now you have to pull your element out. Be very careful when pulling it out. Sometimes it can get stuck on this insulation. You might have to kind of push down with your fingers as you're guiding it out. Slide out and set it aside. When installing your bake element, if any wires have fallen, make sure you push them up and set them aside. Next, we'll slide in your bake element. Move the terminal block out of the way and gently push it in past the insulation. Once we get to this point, pressing on the terminals, you should be able to line it up with where the screws go. Next, put your screws in that hold in the bake element. Now, reinstall your terminal block bracket. Once you get it in, bend the tab back up. Next, guide in one of the screws that hold on your terminal block and align it into the proper spot. Now, do not tighten it all the way so you do have some wiggle room for the secondary screw whenever you're trying to line it up properly. Fasten that in. Next, we can reinstall our ground. Finally, slide your power cord through and reinstall your power cord. When doing this, make sure you have it positioned correctly so you have a left, middle, and right. Make sure that your middle wire is not on the right or left side to where it would need to send power. You do not want to have your neutral on one of these lines. Plug back in your terminals for the bake element. Now we can reinstall our back cover. To install your back panel, first you need to guide the sides into the slotted area. Let it drop down freely. Next, go around the perimeter and replace your Phillips screws that hold it on. And this will complete your repair. Thank you for watching another quality video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.